Ryan, I want to hear about your Burning Man experience as our next talk aboutable. So you spent some time out in the desert.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Inhaling dust and dirt and
Black Rock City.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what I could tell you in 5 minutes. If you ask 100 people from Burning Man, like, hey, what is Burning Man? You're going to get 100 different answers. You might get 1,000 different answers if you ask 1,000 different people. Wow. But all I can say is, like, you think you know what it's going to be. You look at Instagram, you read blogs, you do all the research, you prepare as much as you can, and it nothing can prepare you for your first Burning Man experience, because it's like, it's everything. It's I don't know. Just imagine everything that humanity has to offer. It's all right there, and everyone is there to provide that for each other. And that's what really attracted me to go, was this giving community of 80,000 people. I mean, what is not appealing about that? Like, I got to check this out. And I'm glad I did. It was freaking awesome. I can tell you about, like, I don't know, man, like some of the biggest things I got from it, which is interesting because I went there expecting to give a little bit, but mostly wanted to, like, I wanted to maybe have like a spiritual experience or different perspective on things. And I did get those things, but that was like 10 or 20% of it. I ended up giving a lot to just different people, man. I mean, just, you know how I love to make new friends everywhere I go.
Yes, indeed.
And it's very easy to do that at Burning Man. And I made some amazing connections. And one of the things I realized about Burning Man is, well, you know how I always kind of mention that we're all processing trauma. Mm-hmm. Every single one of us, man. And at Burning Man, that's what they're doing. They're going there to release. I mean, that's the whole thing of burning the man down, is this release, letting go. And I was able to, like, really help people let go of some of their traumas during the week. And it was like, it just felt so good, man. Because, I love to give advice. Yeah. Hey, Josh and I made a living out of it. We all three made a living out of it. But sometimes I'm like, I'm like, I give too much advice. But like at Burning Man, like, people were just like starving for like a different perspective. And I was able to do that a lot, man. I mean, it was incredible. Do
you have an example of one way that you contributed to someone?
Oh, yeah. I mean, real quick, like, I met one gentleman. We were waiting in line to get some cider. And, I within the first 30 seconds, he had mentioned to me that, like, he doesn't talk to his dad. And, I can relate with that. And so I just talked to him about relationship with my parents and kind of things that I've been able to help myself overcome with them and have a deeper relationship with them. And the biggest thing was, hey, man, you've got your parents. Like, I understand that you feel like they owe you something, but they don't owe you anything. And if you want your parents to, like, really respect your battles, like, you have to respect theirs first. And that sucks, because it's almost like you have to be their parent. And you would have thought I would have given them, like, the winning lottery numbers or something. I mean, he started tearing up. It was amazing. It was beautiful. Wow. Let me tell you the biggest thing I got out of this, though. So there are these 10 principles with Burning Man. And one, like, it's...
Oh, yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah, so it's like radical expression, radical self-reliance. I'm only going the ones I remember. I don't remember all 10 of them. One of them is radical inclusion, though. Okay? Mm-hmm. And that's what's cool about Burning Man, is you can go there, you can do whatever you want, you can release whatever you want to release, you can dress however you want, you can be yourself 100%, and you will feel included. So we go to this venue to listen to some music, and I'm with some of these people from my camp, and they're all over 50. Like, they're all, some older folks. And we're having a blast. We're just kind of, laughing and dancing. And then all of a sudden, on the other side of the dance floor, I see this dude waving. It's huge. Let's go, Brandon flag. Let's go, Brandon. I'm triggered, man. I am instantly like, this is about inclusion. This doesn't feel like inclusion to me.
No, it's not.
This feels like separation.
Yes.
And so I look over at one of my campmates. I'm like, can you believe this? And, like, we start feeding off each other. And then it hits me. Radical inclusion. And I look at my campmate. I'm like, how dare us? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, we can't pick and choose what we want to include. Like, if we want to do radical inclusion, we have to include everybody. It doesn't mean you agree with them.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean you think that they're morally right. It doesn't mean that you think that they're living their life the right way, but you can at least make them feel included.
Yeah.
And that's a great first step. So I go from anger to this realization to like letting go. And now I got to push through. Now I'm like, I got to push through this judgment that I have. So I look at my camp man. I'm like, I'm going to go over and give this dude a hug. And she was like, what? And I'm like, I'm embracing it. I was like, I'm pushing. This is so uncomfortable for me. Like I'm pushing through this. She's like, you know what? That's a good idea. So I head on over there. Dude's just like waving. He's like dancing, waving his flag. And I go up to him. I'm like, hey man, so glad you're here. He's like, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Are you having a good time? He's like, yeah, I'm having a blast, man. Waving his flag high. I said, are you hugging? He's like, yeah, I am hugging. Bring it in, man. So I go up to give him a hug. I'm like, hey, man, my name's Ryan. What's your name? Brandon. It was the best lesson I ever had in my life. I went from like angry to release to like pushing through discomfort to like I could not stop laughing. I'm like, this guy's a genius. It was so good, man. It was that was just one of the many, many experiences, and I could give you 10 more, but I heard the bell like 3 minutes ago, so I'm gonna let it go. Did you enjoy this standalone Patreon highlight? If so, you can listen to full episodes of the Minimalists private podcast available exclusively on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/theminimalists or click the link in the description. Your support keeps our podcast and YouTube channel 100% advertisement free.